Officer was hit and seriously injured during a routine traffic stop over the weekend.
Police say Officer Jeremy Bitner was hit by an SUV while standing by his patrol car. The person he pulled over also hit. The Englewood police chief has an update on the officer's condition. And that is, this is video that we're looking at now from the scene the night of that incident. That was Sunday night. And hopefully we're going to hear here momentarily from the chief, John Collins, about this particular case and what is going on with the investigation at this point. And here we go.
That news conference is about to begin.
Good afternoon. My name is John Collins. I'm the chief of police here for the city of Englewood. And we do have a comment about all of the concerns about Officer Bittner's condition. On Monday, May 28th of 2012, at approximately 12:30 in the morning, Englewood police officer Jeremy Bitner conducted a traffic stop on a Ford Mustang in the 5200 block of South Broadway. During the traffic stop, both Officer Bittner and the driver of the Mustang was struck by a Nissan Pathfinder SUV. The Nissan Pathfinder left the scene. Englewood Fire Department personnel responded to the scene to render aid to both Officer Bittner and the other victim, and they were both transported to Swedish Hospital. A citizen witnessed the incident and followed the Nissan Pathfinder southbound on South Broadway, where Littleton police officers stopped the Nissan Pathfinder a few miles south of the accident. Littleton police arrested the driver of the Nissan, 20-year-old Connor Donahue. He is now being held at the Arapahoe County Detention Facility on charges of DUI, hit and run, and vehicular assault. Officer Bittner has passed away due to the injuries he sustained from being struck by the Nissan Pathfinder. Officer Bittner, who was 39 years old, was hired by the Englewood Police Department on December 6, 2004. During his 7.5 years, he served as an operator on the police department SWAT team, a field training officer, a CIT officer, and instructed in the Citizens Academy. Officer Bittner received a Medal of Gallantry for disarming a suspect with a handgun on August 13, 2006, and a certificate of commendation for him and other officers for taking an armed suspect into custody on January 30th of 2005. Officer Bittner served 6 months with the Elba County Sheriff's Office, and he also served his country in the United States Army and the Airborne Infantry and served in Bosnia. Officer Bittner is survived by his wife and 2 children. A memorial fund has been set up in the name of Jeremy Bitner on behalf of his children, and this is done through the Belco Credit Union, and that information is still pending, the account numbers or whatnot, but that information will be provided to you folks on our website. I wanted to say one thing. Officer Bittner loved his job. He served his country in the city of Englewood with dignity and honor. Jeremy continues to contribute to life through organ recovery. We will forward the funeral arrangements to you folks when they are scheduled. We're an open book at this point. As soon as those arrangements are made, we will make sure that the media, the citizens of this fine city, and all of the law enforcement community are informed of when and where this will take place. With that being said, I will entertain any questions that you may have.
Chief, you're a department of 70 strong, obviously a very difficult time.
It's a difficult time for a department of 70 or 700. We always liken ourselves to being a family. We're a family who serves our city, and any time we lose a member of our family, especially in this situation, it's nothing less than heartbreaking. And the grieving is something that we're dealing with right now. And but we're a professional organization. We'll honor Jeremy and his family, and we'll get through this.
How is his family?
They're struggling. I mean, when a spouse or loved one gives you a kiss on the cheek goodnight, I'll see you in the morning, and then does not come home. As a husband and a father, I would say that they're devastated. The devastation continues. But I'm amazed at their resiliency that they're going to get through this. You can tell they're going to get through this. So.
Can you talk about the traffic stop itself, where the officer was at the time? Were they in the street in front of the patrol car?
It's my understanding, and I'll only be able to go so far with this because the criminal investigation is being held by the Colorado State Patrol, and that will include any filing of the criminal charges. But Jeremy was in the process of having issued a summons when this southbound vehicle essentially veered into Jeremy and the other individual that was standing next to the police car. And that's how that took place.
Can you at least say, Chief, if the officer was next to the vehicle or in front of? Does that make sense?
I understand. It's my understanding he was next to it, but we're getting real close to the particulars of the investigation, and I would not want to mislead you, so the State Patrol would be the one to ask on that.
Okay. Chief, when did Officer Bittner die?
It's my understanding that when we were informed as a group, it was probably early yesterday morning, and we've given the family some time and some space for the organ recovery, and which is why we've had to wait, and so I'm sure we'll receive your indulgence from that. So.
Chief, can you talk about his personality?
I love Jeremy Bitner, and like you said, it's a small department, but he was a class act. He was former military, and for those of you who have been in the military, Jeremy would never call me by my first name, even though I asked. And there were a bunch of guys that asked him, just say, "How you doing, John?" to the chief one day. And he tried, and he said, "Well, sir, how you doing?" And he was always that way. And he was a dad, and I'm really affected by that because we commiserated about our children in soccer and the hopes and goals that you have for your children. And then, he was a class act and a fine officer. He very much wanted to move up within the organization and was taking the necessary steps to do that, but that was taken away from him. So.
Do you know how old his children are?
I believe they're 9 and 7.
When's the last time you lost an officer in the line of duty?
Well, we've discussed that, and we had an officer many years ago who suffered a fatal heart attack during a court proceeding. In the actual line of duty during a critical incident, this may very well be the first. So.
What additional charges could the driver be looking at?
Well, he's charged with vehicular assault. So at some point in time, once the coroner releases the death certificate, I'm sure it'll be upgraded to vehicular homicide. Anything else? Folks, I appreciate your time, and thank you very much.
That is Englewood Chief of Police John Collins talking about 39-year-old Jeremy Bittner, who died yesterday morning. He suffered very, very difficult injuries on Sunday night, just after midnight, while giving a traffic stop, trying to write a ticket. And we did learn that he passed yesterday morning, as I said. And 20-year-old Connor Donahue is in jail facing DUI charges. He's now facing vehicular assault charges, but now, of course, this will be investigated as vehicular homicide.
It's a very difficult day for the Englewood Police Department. As you just heard the chief say, this may very well be the first officer lost in the line of duty. Again, 39-year-old Jeremy Bitner served in the U.S. Army in Bosnia, leaves a wife and 2 children, ages 9 and 7. So a tough day for all those folks. And we will, of course, bring you more on this story coming up on 7 News at 5 o'clock.